It's Week 15 of the NFL, and we've got C.J. Stroud. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Texans and the Titans, and it's all up next.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on. The byes are over. It's now a 4-week sprint to the finish, and we are underway here in Week 15. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Texans now with a fresh face at quarterback, the second overall pick from Ohio State, C.J. Stroud.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
Yeah, 3-3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Gotta get off of that schneid and get back to just throwing touchdown passes and taking care of the ball better.
They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, the numbers for Pierce last week: 17 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
Nice solid showing from him last week. Didn't blow the roof off with his numbers, but he certainly had a quality day and produced when called upon.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. The Texans at 5-8, 3 games under 500. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Second and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Oh, and they set the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still second down.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. On second down, here's Pierce. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry. They were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well read, because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. When he's got no blocking in front of him, his guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball at the turf at your running back speed.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return, and it'll be Titan football. Well, the Titans ready to take over on offense for the first time, and it is the now 35-year-old Ryan Tannehill who leads them out in his 12th NFL campaign.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver.
1 yard gain.
The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 8 carries, 52 yards.
And a rushing title's definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw, Tannehill. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Will Anderson in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Now on fourth down, here's Ryan Stonehouse to punt for Tennessee. Taken from just outside the 30. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Texans will take over. Offense back out there along with Dameon Pierce. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And, yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On second down, here's Henry. He stiff arms him. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's second down.
It's second and 8 at the 39-yard line.
Tannehill. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jared Stingley picks it, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
The drive starts with a completion left side. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Titans' 38-yard line.
They'll toss this to Pierce on the right side. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Stroud to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations. Now here's Stroud. Open man is Jordan, the tight end.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They'll run here with Pierce. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. Singletary is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And Henry going to have a Titans first down as the tackle made right at the 30-yard line. A first down carry for Henry. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. You look at the defense for these Texans. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded at the 27. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. The last series form, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Tannehill. Oh, and that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
2nd and 2 at the Texans' 45-yard line.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
That's good for the Titans. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Now Tannehill. There's a short one caught by Uzama. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Number 6 brings up 2nd and 4 at the 37-yard line.
Running left, it's Henry. And tough sledding. They'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall.
4th down and they take to the air, which really isn't a major surprise, but how about the coverage? They're able to bat it down.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
1st down, Houston.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I can
consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but now from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Stroud on 3rd down now. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Tannehill now to throw. Out route, and this is Henry with a catch. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. And his pass incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Back to the air, Tannehill on 2nd down. Complete, it's Henry. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 36-yard line.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The offense on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Here's Tannehill. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Titans are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out comes Houston. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
On second down, it's Stroud. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Going for it with Pierce. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. That's taken at around the 40. The Titans going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. Here's Tannehill. And he couldn't get that one to his man. Short of him, it's low and incomplete. 2nd and 10. To throw is Tannehill. That is caught. It's Uzomah. Touchdown, Titans. C.J. Uzomah. His first touchdown on the year. And the Titans will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Stroud. He's got his man. That's Woods on the out route. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Final play of the half, Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Colts who have the lead in the second quarter. The Colts trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, it's off to the land to check on the Browns at home in the Dog Pound. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Nick Chubb with 2 touchdowns thus far. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. Allen Lazard, a touchdown reception. We were treated to a fine first half from the veteran Ryan Tannehill. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. A one-touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Out come the Titans now. They'll have it first on offense to start the third. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead. And they got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game. So probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced. Either throw it or run it and try and win this ball game.
Henry up the middle. He'll get this to about the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
There's a short one caught by Uzama. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Back to throw, Tannehill. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hopkins. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 48-yard line.
The handoff running left, Henry. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 45 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Open man is Uzama. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. Again to Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Tannehill. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule it out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They snap it to Tannehill. Over the middle, into the hands of Burks. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he's got it. And it's a Titans touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Ryan Tannehill. And the Titans take the opening kickoff in the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you to bigger errors.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. And that leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Stroud off the play fake. Open man is Noah Brown. Touchdown, Houston. Noah Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have cut it back within a score.
So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
This taken in right around the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off. So you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
Inside handoff, Henry. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now,
as he's on to punt for Tennessee. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Houston's offense taking over again. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
As Stroud now to throw.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Tannehill on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's 2nd down.
Now Tannehill. And that'll be incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. He finds Hopkins complete. And he will have a Titans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill.
On the slant, Burks.
Touchdown! Make that now 4 touchdown passes for Ryan Tannehill.
And the Titans will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Dameon Pierce taking the field with the rest of the Texans offense.
And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
Pierce now up the middle. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 7.
Play action. Stroud now.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll start with a give to Henry. They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? As you give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence and playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Now it's Tannehill.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the 1st.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. And he'll snag about 5 yards down in the 32. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Christian Harris there finding his way home to record the sack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Here's Tannehill.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 of the 15. A gain of 22.
The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
From the red zone now, Tannehill.
Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing road.
And he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Henry will take this into the end zone for a Titans touchdown. So it's a pretty good season he's putting together running the football. That now 10 rushing touchdowns on the year.
And we know this is a passing league, and those numbers throwing the football, they seem to go up and up every year. But there's still something to having a reliable back you can count on in the red zone to bring things home for you. And that's what he's been doing all season long.
Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slam, and it's intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And that pick six, that was the first turnover forced by the defense in this ballgame, CD.
And what's even better is when they finally forced one, they kept the effort up and were able to return it for a score. They could hear their defensive coaches saying to them, hey, getting the interception's great. Can you do more with it? Turn it into a big play. And they did exactly that.
point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. 72 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Now Stroud. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now here's Stroud on third down. To Pierce, they set up the screen. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
First down, Houston.
1st and 10, it's Stroud. He's got his man, it's Pierce. And a first down screen pass, good for 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Meanwhile, Stroud's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
And the Texans first down.
Stroud to throw it. And he rifles one incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Stroud will look to throw once more. Into a sea of defenders, unintercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Titans are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. The Titans on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Again, it's Henry. And he'll work down inside the 45.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And Henry going to have a Titans first down as he'll get this down to the 35-yard line. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Tennessee, it's a 4th win of the campaign as they get to 4-10 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks.